everyone, it's Sarah Darden, and this is the Real Momentum podcast, where we have honest conversations, a bit of truth talking. My mission is to leave you inspired, a bit more informed or entertained from my conversations with inspiring individuals who bring their unique perspectives in business and in life. We will dive into their stories, projects, and overcoming adversity along the way. I'm bringing to you a wide array of guests from property, marketing, leadership, social connectors, peak performance, and creatives. I love it all, and I am thrilled you are here to join me. You know, the thing about starting something new is that you have every likelihood of being absolutely terrible at it. So here I am, doing something very new to me, and I have every expectation of bombing it and learning a few lessons along the way. So part of the reason why I'm doing this is to not just face a pretty big fear of mine, which is public humiliation and shame. I'm sure a lot of people can identify with that. But it's also to learn a pretty important skill of being able to communicate my ideas effectively on the spot, have engaging conversations with people who I admire, and also to deliver some pretty useful, entertaining, maybe even inspiring content to the world. Humbly, I'd like to try and do that. Whether I will or not, we shall see. But here I am. And I also, as a marketer, firmly believe in this medium for sharing information, promotion, and really just connecting with your audience. And so it would be hypocritical of me for me as a marketer to not pursue this for myself. So this is the big answer to why I've got this new Real Momentum podcast. Yeah, so here we are. I think for this first amazing opportunity to have a chat with you is, I think, important to focus in on that whole inspiring reason of why I'm here, and that's facing my fears. And so this year, 2023, has been a wild one for me. And I think it has been for pretty much everyone in my world. I mean, I actually haven't met many people who haven't had a pretty challenging year, where pretty much, every few months it seems some new opportunity to display your resilience and ability to overcome adversity hasn't, surfaced. So for me, the whole year started with a cancer scare. I had breast cancer all of a sudden at the age of 36. Found out on the first day of school, picking up my kids at 3 p.m. It was pretty awful. Fast forward to December, and now I'm living life after all of that. And something happened about 2 months ago. I started thinking about all of the things that I fear or even used to fear. And I came up with a bit of a concept that I'd like to share. So I've created a bucket list of all of these big things that I am afraid of, that I intend to, I would say, try and overcome those fears over the next 6 to 12 months, with the view that once I've actually overcome those fears, then there's virtually nothing standing in my way, because usually it's some kind of fear that lies ahead of us that is preventing us from achieving our goals or wildest dreams. And so I guess that brings me to this question. If there was one thing that stood between where you are now and achieving your wildest dreams, I mean, what would happen if you were able to face that head on, overcome it? I think that your whole world would change. I know for me, just taking incremental steps this year has been quite revealing. Incremental steps towards my goals, and nearly every step of the way having to face my fears. Once you remove a fear from your life and it no longer is one, then I honestly think that there's nothing standing in your way beyond that point. I think for me, over my entire life, I've been constantly trying to prove to myself that I can do it. I mean, this has been, since I was a little girl, overachieving. How much can I take on and still succeed? And I think that's also been to my detriment. I've been accused of having an overly complicated existence, and I think that's valid, as much as it pains me to admit that. It's something that I'm working on and fine-tuning, and I think a lot of that has to do with relinquishing that need to put so much on my plate and put so much pressure on myself to perform, and instead pursue excellence in the fields that I feel like I am called to. And that type of clarity is not something that everybody achieves. Some people have that so much easier than other people, and I think that's a real gift to have that type of focus, clarity, and sense of purpose early on in their lives. And you know, I'm not old, but I'm also not young, and I'm kind of in that middle part of my existence, and I feel like I'm starting to really get a clear vision of what I'm here to do and what I'm here to achieve, which I think has given me a lot of drive to be able to get there as fast as I possibly can. And in my view, now that I've experienced cancer and I've experienced what's involved with getting on the other side of that, I now understand what it actually takes to be able to move past things to achieve greatness. And not that I'm great, but I'm striving for that. And I'm seeing a lot of evidence that I'm definitely tracking in that direction, whatever that is. And, you know, to you, it could be to be a great parent. It could be to be a great friend, great partner, incredible boss, colleague, community leader, member. These are all, I think, elements and roles of greatness that we can all play in our lives. And for me, there's a few different roles that I would like to be great at. Looking back over my life, I'd love to feel like I actually contributed in all those different areas in a way that it actually added great value to someone else. And I think back to my own business and what I'm wanting to do there is really adding value to my clients and to the people that I collaborate or partner with. So now I've kind of stripped it back down to this core mission for me to be able to get out of my own way. So get out of my head, face these fears, and just do. I think that for me is probably the key message here, is that stop overthinking it. Just do it. And here I am now doing this podcast that I think I've been talking about for about a year. And I think a lot of that has to do with things falling into place, and I'm ready for it now. I've got an amazing team to help me with it. And I've also got a network that's there to support me, guests who are ready and willing to sit with me. And I think that has a lot to do with just where we are at on our journey and where I am, how I've progressed over the last few years in my work and in my community, both professionally and personally. So I'm pretty excited about what lies ahead. And I know I've got some amazing guests lined up for the first several episodes. And I really look forward to sharing that with my network and community. And I hope it does add value to your life in some way, because I know it's pretty meaningful to me. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think it would be worthwhile sharing or even listening to on your end. So I really value your time and while I might nail some episodes and bomb others, I'm just grateful that for those of you who go on this journey with me, you're willing to write it out. And, like any good marketer would say, give me your feedback so I can improve and refine it as I go. And I feel like this is just the beginning, and I'm really interested to know what happens over the next 12 months and how this podcast is going to evolve in itself. The way that I deliver it, the type of topics we cover, and the people that we get to sit with, and what type of response we're going to have. Because, that I think will be quite, it'll be revealing. So thank you very much. I'm going to leave it there for the very first little episode. It's just a bit of an intro, and I am so happy to have you with me. Thank you to my amazing team for supporting me and for helping me get to this point. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the other side. Cheers.